At the end of this learning activity, the field studies student should be able to: first, recall the different parts of an action research. Prepare and write an action research plan. And lastly, defend before a panel of evaluators the proposed action research plan. Action research is more like a cyclical process with the reflection upon your action and research findings affecting changes in your practice, which may lead to extend questions and further action. Our action research report should comprise all of these essential steps. According to Feldman and Weiss, summarize them as 5 structural elements which do not have to be written in particular order. First, describe the context where the action research takes place. Second, contain a statement of research focus. Third, detail the methods used. Fourth, highlight the research findings. And lastly, suggest implications.
The researchers will choose one class with distinct characteristics or attributes and recall the problem or challenges they encounter. From those challenges, we will choose one that needs immediate attention or solution. The chosen scenario will serve as our springboard in writing our classroom-based action research.
The approval sheet, acknowledgement, tables of contents, and the abstract are preliminaries needs to consider in conducting an action plan. One of the most important preliminaries of an action research is the approval sheet, which proves that the researchers have passed the requirements needed for the classroom-based action research.
Writing an acknowledgement focuses on expressing gratitudes to organizations, agencies, or individuals who, in one way or another, have aided the researchers in finishing the classroom-based action research. More interestingly, researchers need to prepare a table of contents wherein it can be seen in an organized listing of your documents, chapters, sections, and often figures clearly labeled by page numbers.
At any rate, writing an abstract gives an outline, brief summary of classroom-based action research. It should have an intro, body, and conclusion. It is well-developed paragraph should be exact and wording and must be understandable by a wide audience.
In writing an introduction, the researchers need to present the background of the study and significance of the study. The researchers need to introduce their topic and aims, and gives an overview of the paper. A good introduction will provide a solid foundation and encourage readers to continue onto the main parts of your paper, the methods, results, and discussion.
After we determine the concern, define and describe the problem or situation, identify possible changes that might help resolve it. The problem description should relate to specific teaching practices and be a researchable concept. We will use the following guidelines to help narrow our focus. Write down some statements of concern about our practice. Try to specify what is about the concern that we wish to change. This could be identified as changes in the language use, changes in activities, changes in social relationships, etc. Describe the problem. Why is it a personal concern to us? What instructional, organizational, supervision changes we will make? What can we do about the problem? To find out, talk to colleagues, read as students, etc. And lastly, what control do we have to solve the problem?
In order for our action plan to resolve the problem, the question must be valid and doable. To ensure that the question meets this criteria, we may ask ourselves clarifying questions such as these.
What are some areas of interest we want to improve? Why do we want to research this problem? What are some potential solutions? What kinds of evidence do we have or can we find as a baseline? Lastly, formulate a research question.
After identifying our research concern, gathering additional information, and refining the focus of our research, the plan of action needs to be implemented and developed.
Action plan involves specification of the participants, strategies, available resources, evaluation procedures, and timeline. Using our clarified question and research concern, our action plan should answer these questions. Where will the research take place? Who will participate in the research? What will happen with the participants? How will the research be conducted, and what will be the specific sequence of actions? When will the research be conducted, and how might it unfold or change over time?
Before enacting the plan, the researcher has to be ready with all the data collection, related materials, and procedures. They have to determine the types of data that need to be collected to lead to meaningful, accurate, and appropriate conclusions regarding the research question. Take advantage of data we usually collect in our normal instruction process for us to present and interpret the data we have collected.
After collecting data, take a close look, analyze the information, and share results. Examine the data to find themes and patterns of behavior and performance that answer our research question. Check with students and peers to see if they agree the data say the same thing. We will find that we can easily form our opinion about some quantifiable data. Other data such as surveys, questionnaires, checklists, and test results can be recorded in table or graph form. Once all our data are collected, the key to making the significant change in practice is analyzing and reflecting on the evidence we have collected.
In writing an action plan, bibliography, appendices, and curriculum should added to our research paper. After gathering all the information to create a bibliographical citation following different style. The examples will be presented on the screen. An appendices that contains supplementary material that is not an essential part of the text itself, but which may be helpful in providing a more comprehensive understanding of the research, while the curriculum vitae, also known as a CV or vita, is a comprehensive statement of our educational background and personal information. It is the standard representation of credentials within academia.
The chart shows what portion of action plan we, as a group with 13 respondents, find very highly difficult to execute. With the help of Likert scale, we interpreted the data and we found out that questions number 4, chapter 2, problem identification, and question number 6, chapter 4, the plan of action, have the highest corresponding vote of 46%,